You must have when you got back to it and were configuring stuff.
No, I was asleep.
Okay. The game was on that tail.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I didn't notice at all. I was like too busy trying to get everything set up.
Yeah, no, the game was
Mustache.
on that tail.
Stop practicing Pyramid Cave. We have a run to do.
Oh yeah. All right. Cool.
Every.
All right.
But we have estimates
Men
that we
don't
need
have.
to delay for.
Yeah.
No, we don't. It's fine. You're scheduled to start about now-ish. Therefore, start now-ish.
Actually, this
Go.
is the exact time. All right. So.
Count me in 3, 2, 1, go, and then I'll just start the timer, and then I'll stop fucking about with everything.
All right. Cool. Hopefully I don't crash when I load up the file. All right. 3, 2, 1, go. All right. So this is Sonic Adventure 2 Battle. I'm gonna be doing Hero Story, the best story. And yeah, here we go. So in this stage, City Escape, there is one huge skip that I'm going to be attempting to do once, and if I get it, that would be amazing, but I probably won't, because I don't go for a consistent, well, a more consistent way of getting the skip. So it's like right after the boarding section, and then like a couple just spin dashes away, I guess. I'm coming up to it now. I'm gonna get it.
Go on, I believe in you.
Come on. I didn't get it. Damn it, dude. Alright, that
Oh,
looked
what?
that looked perfect though. So-
I'll be the judge of that, alright?
And the run is over. Everyone go
Okay.
home.
Yeah, that looks good.
Yeah, what would have happened there if I had gotten it is Sonic would have shot off to the right and fallen straight through the level to a later part, which lands you like at one rail section that's just before the truck part. And that saves roughly 25 seconds, I'd say.
Yeah, it's quite major.
It is like one of the skips that people don't like to do because it takes so long to like get a run started because of it.
Yeah. In a way, though, it's good that it is at the start of the game because that would be horrible to go for in any other stage.
Yeah. Alright, I got speed shoes at the start of the truck section, and that messes with your acceleration. So I'm going to be trying to do my spin dashes a bit early. And no, I still fly off. I get too much speed. So what I'm doing is I'm spin dashing at the flat parts of the hills, which allow me to slow myself down temporarily. And when you're spin dashing, you can actually store the speed from your previous spin dash. So when I release the spin dash after the flat part, I'll keep going at the same speed I was before with a little bit of added speed as well. I didn't actually explain spin dash chaining, which is what I was doing throughout the entire stage. You probably saw I was mostly spin dashing and then unrolling the spin dash. And yeah, you can get a lot of speed by doing that, and it builds up quite a lot. Alright, so do you want to explain Bigfoot, Draco?
Yeah, so Bigfoot becomes vulnerable pretty much only after he's lifted off the ground. So what we're going to want to do here is use the front boxes to chain some hits together and trying to exploit his iframes taking a long time by just going straight up to him and hitting him again. The collision on the box is quite odd, so it's actually a little tricky to do that, but it's a pretty consistent strat once you're used to it. And if you're not good at it, you can use the back boxes, which is a couple seconds slower but a lot more consistent.
Yeah. I got a really good time on Bigfoot there. It's 2142, which is 2 frames away from frame perfect. So I'm very happy with that. There's not much I could actually do to like save those frames there actually. It's mostly the same. The execution's the same every time. Alright, so Knuckles levels. That was Wild Canyon, the first Knuckles level. They are completely RNG in terms of what pieces you get. Well, not completely. The first piece is always RNG, but the second and third piece are also randomized, but based off of what first piece and second piece you get. And the pieces spawn in a triangle, and the game tries to make the triangle as big as possible. So that way you spend more time like trying to find the pieces, and you can actually get the triangle to be super small. which would require you to not actually like travel that much distance to get the pieces, which would be good RNG. That can actually save like a lot of time if you get the best pieces compared to like average pieces in most stages, I think. Even Wild Canyon, which is like the shortest Knuckles stage. You can get like
13 on Eggman reset.
I know, right? You can get 9-second Wild Canyons, but I'd say most of the time you get like 24 seconds. That's like a huge time save if you get a 9-second Wild Canyon. Alright, so Prison Lane, the first Tails stage. Now, Tails' movement is extremely difficult to do fast. It's not... People find Tails stages like, you know, laid back for the most part, but I find it really... I don't know, it's just... I kind of get scared when I play a Tails level, because I've tried to optimize it so much, it just becomes super hard to get right every time. So, on this particular stage, there are a lot of triggers that open the gates, and I'm just going to be shooting the enemies through the walls and stuff, because the laser that you lock onto the enemies with, you can make it go through the wall and shoot the enemies early. I'm going to be doing one here. Nope, didn't get it, damn it. I usually get that enemy there, like, I wouldn't have had to stop if I had locked onto that one early.
The main piece of movement tech you'll be seeing a lot as well is that unless a turn is quite gradual, then Mustache will be jumping to round corners as Tails, because keeping your momentum up as Tails is only really possible on straight paths. If you try and turn sharply, Tails loses all its ground speed. So in order to do sharp turns, we actually jump and then turn in the air.
That was easy.
Yeah. However, you do still lose speed when you're in the air, whether you're jumping or hovering. It's a slower speed cap. So you want to minimize the height of the jump so that you can land the quickest. Alright. Messel Harbor is quite a simplistic but scary stage, I'd say. There are a lot of tight jumps you have to do, especially if you're trying to get like the most optimized times. A lot of tight jumps that can kill you like instantly and lose a lot of time, because the entire stage is right above this pool of water you can see.
And we also just got the light dash upgrade, which now allows Sonic to dash across trails of rings. It's going to be used in certain spots in the run. It can also prove to be a nuisance in certain parts of the run, but that's more in New Game Plus. Also, that was Underloop was scary.
Yeah, I didn't think what? What just happened? What? No, come on. Alright, I didn't think I'd actually have to homie attack on the Underloop.
What was that? What is...
I don't know. What happened on the first one? I don't understand.
Tumbling down!
So yeah, what I just did there is I did a spin dash jump, which is where you spin dash and then jump. You know, that's quite obvious, but you know, some people still don't get it for some reason. But yeah, I did a spin dash jump off that incline, which sends me pretty much directly up. So I can just grab the rocket's handle really early. That saves some time. I don't know how much, because I've never done the whole path and timed it. Alright, was that 126? That was really bad.
It was 130.
130? What?
Because the rocket platform was, you know...
Yeah, that wasn't too good. Alright. Shadow 2, Draco. Shadow 1 even.
Dude, Shadow 2 already, world record pace.
I know, right?
Yeah, so one thing that we didn't really mention in Metal Harbor is that a movement trick that Mustache was using was storage to move under the somersault barriers quickly. Because with all the actions in this game being on the same button, the game basically uses button duration to decide what action you're doing, since somersault and spin dash are on the same key. So while you're holding the B button, the game thinks you're somersaulting, which gives you a shorter hitbox and allows you to inflict damage. So that's what you're going to see on Shadow here. That it looks like he's running into Shadow, but all he's really doing is holding the B button and then releasing it before a spin dash charge happens, which allows us to inflict damage on Shadow.
Yeah. Gives you all the properties of the somersault, as long as the spin dash, as long as you don't hold it enough for the spin dash to start charging. Including the smaller hitbox, like Draco said. I think you said that.
Yeah, shorter hitbox so you can get under somersault barriers.
Yeah.
What we're also going to see at the start of Green Forest is that the duration of time required to start charging the spin dash is also stored, and we'll see that on the springs near the start of Green Forest here.
Yeah, I'll say when it comes up.
Mm.
Alright, there's also one trick in this stage which is gonna be kind of hard to get. I'm gonna go for it. Alright. So, you might not have seen it there, but I stored a spin dash into that, like, rail vine thing. And I'm also doing it here, where I start charging a spin dash before I hit the spring. And when I land, it pretty much comes out instantly, because it stores the frames that I've started to charge the spin dash for. So I don't have to, like, charge the spin dash for that many frames again.
Mm-hmm.
So as soon as I land, it just counts up how many more frames I need to get the spin dash for, which is very minimal, and starts charging it way earlier. Alright, here's the skip that I was talking about. I'm gonna get this checkpoint because I'm probably gonna mess it up. Alright, I've landed very low, I might fall off. Alright, this seems good. I'm gonna be safe. Yeah, alright, so I got it. So what happened there is... Alright, so these loops, you can see, they have a property that gets applied to Sonic once he goes around it, or like starts going around it, which makes him stick to surfaces at a set speed and go all the way around the loop without falling off. As long as you're holding forwards, that is. Now what you can do is you can get this property because there's actually a physical trigger for it in the stage. And if you fly off the side of the loop with this skewed gravity, it will keep that gravity going towards the tree. Because it tries to make it go straight down relative to like which direction Sonic is facing. Whether that's like against, like looking up, looking back towards the camera, whatever. Yeah, it makes you keep running at a certain speed for a certain amount of time, and that actually allows you to stick to surfaces like the tree and just run straight up it. I'm actually gonna reset on here, which is actually...
Oh, don't do that.
That's risky, because I could get worse pieces. Alright.
Do you get...
So...
Oh, don't! Reset over double containers, I've told you this.
What I just did there is I grabbed the upgrade, which allows more pieces to spawn, because you need the digging upgrade to complete the stage. Alright, so I got this one. What the? Those hitboxes, man.
You're gonna get Wonder of the Serpent, man.
I did, dude! Screw you, dude!
I told you not to reset.
Wow.
Oh my god.
So, getting the upgrade and restarting opens up a bunch more bad pieces for the stage to spawn. What am I doing? I should probably stay here. So, it gives you a bunch... That wasn't actually too bad considering I got Wandering in a Circle. So, once you restart, it doesn't set the pieces to be diggable only. So you can get some pieces that aren't diggable, which is the game's way of forcing you to get the upgrade. And it actually opens up a bunch of really bad pieces, like Wonder in a Circle, where it's pretty much you have to wait for the piece to come up from a switch, which loses a lot of time.
The entire reason that Mustache took that risk in the first place as well is because his first piece was double containers, which a lot of people don't like that piece because it can be in 3 separate spots, but one of the spots that it can be in is very good, makes it one of the best first pieces. So I and some other players like to run with it and just hope that it's the good variant, but some people prefer to just reset to avoid it being the bad variant.
Yeah.
It's opinions are split on whether it's worth avoiding it.
Yeah. Yeah, that's a very ambiguous piece where it can be at all three mountains, as Draco said, and I don't want to like run the risk of trying to go to the two mountains, finding that it's not there, and having to go to the last mountain, wasting like a lot of time.
You nearly.
Yeah.
Cycle.
I'm so stupid, dude. So what I did earlier, you might not have caught it, was I did a pause hover. It's where I like paused right before the weight that fell down, so I could get a hover jump off, getting the most height as possible. I don't know why that didn't send me high enough there. So I could actually go onto that weight early, which allows me to get an earlier cycle, which I actually missed because I messed up on that barricade there. I don't know why it didn't send me high enough.
Oh yeah, that costs just a little too much time to get 0 cycle. That's what we're going for at the end of the stage here. The cycles that we're aiming for in this stage are the drums that Mustache is like on now, especially the one in the back, which is faster if you can get to it in time. And
Yeah.
previously we had what we thought was the fastest cycle, but with that big hover jump at the start, we can now make an additional faster cycle. But since we already call the fast cycle first cycle, we just decided to call the even faster cycle the 0 cycle. And if you're doing ILs or task stuff, then you can start getting negative cycles as well.
It goes down to like negative second cycle. It's pretty crazy. 213, still not too bad considering I didn't get 0th cycle. I got what we call 0.5 cycle,
Yeah.
which is not taking the back drum, like the singular one going up and down.
Doesn't even mean anything if it's got negatives and decimals.
Look, it means
Psychopath 2 is stupid.
this is speedrunning where it doesn't really matter. It's just
Stupid.
names, you know. Alright, Aquatic Mind. This stage in particular, you can actually see a bunch of pieces out of order in the opening scene, which I did not see, and if I don't get a green one now... Alright, I got a green one. If I didn't, then I would have restarted, because it would be very likely that I would get a bad piece. I'm not paying attention, I was too busy trying to explain and I didn't read my hint.
There's also a bunch of free pieces up top, which Mustache also checks for, but yeah. So this first piece is pretty poor, I'd say.
Yeah, it wasn't
Yeah,
it wasn't the greatest.
very nice clip out.
Yeah, that was like the first time I've ever done that in a run.
Yeah, the
Nice.
casual spiral upper, like straight through the wall. What the fuck?
Yeah.
He uses the hint monitor to force him out of bounds, because the hint monitor has a solid hitbox, and while spiral uppering, Knuckles really doesn't want to occupy the same space as the hint monitor, so it pushes him to the side, and the spiral upper forces you to keep ascending, so you just go through the ceiling and out of bounds. That's actually a trick that's quite hard to land, and it's not applicable in too many places, so it's quite nice to show that off in a run.
Yeah. I also did a sign clip, which is kind of the same thing, but it doesn't use the same kind of pushing you out. Well, it nearly does. It's just it forces you into a very tight angle, I guess, which basically just pushes Knuckles out. But yeah, those were terrible pieces. Not very good. I mean, my execution could have been better, but those were like the lower tier pieces.
The bad RNG was honestly worth showing the hint monitor clip, though.
Yeah. I just thought of doing that on the fly, so I wouldn't actually usually do that. Alright, so Route 101. Most people just blow this stage off as like not having much tech, but you can see what I'm doing right now already is I'm wiggling back and forth, and the reason I'm doing that is to keep my drift, which you can hear in the background. It's like that screechy sound. And what this does is when you're in a drift, you actually have a higher speed cap, and you don't decelerate from it when you're drifting. As long as you don't go up hills, hit a car or a wall, you won't decelerate. So yeah, that's why I'm like wiggling around a little bit. And in the background, nobody would have noticed this, I'm not going to be honest. I've actually been collecting these rings in a particular pattern. It might just look like I collected all of them, but I missed like an entire double trail except for one at the very end. This is a very good Route 101. Oh my god.
Yeah,
Alright.
this is fast. 118 check. That's really good.
Yep. Alright.
For reference, if you are just playing the stage normally and not paying attention to getting extra boosts, you can expect to get a low 120 check there.
Yeah, so the ring route that I chose to do is one that gives you an extra boost. Damn it, I didn't get that boost there. I can get it here though. I was a little bit slower, but not too much. I don't want to hit that guy. Alright. Oh, jeez, dude. That's going to be like a 213. Wow. Yeah, that's...
Serious?
Is that a low 213? Oh. That's a low 213, dude. Well, a mid 213.
Wow, that is really good. Is that a story style IL record?
213.62. I don't know. It might be. I might have had like a 54 or something before. But yeah, 213 is... That's top notch. You're not going to get much better than that, especially in a run.
Yeah, no. Isn't the IL record a 212?
Yeah, it is.
Yeah, it looked like a mid 214 on the level timer because the level timer on Route 101 is kind of broken and doesn't correlate to the actual level time displayed at the end.
Yeah.
And the time displayed at the end on the results screen is the IL time used for the run.
Yeah.
It cuts off about 0.85 seconds, I think. Something like that.
Oh no, don't exit. Alright, so I missed that. Oh my god, dude. Alright, got this, which is okay.
So, a bit of a hairy start to Hidden Base, but what Mustache was attempting there was actually a new strat for this mini skip that we're doing here. There's a lot of different variants of that mini skip cutting off that corner towards the pulley. And we've got a new variant which uses one of these structures before, which has an invisible floor on it. And you can do an optimal hover jump to get up to it, and then do another high hover jump off it to just go through what is supposed to be a solid wall. But if you're high up enough, the wall isn't solid. There's a lot of that in Tales of Stages in general, and in this stage especially, that if you go too high by using hover jumps, then the walls just aren't solid.
Yeah. This is very bad. I messed up
That was
my
an interesting routing choice.
Yeah, I think it was the best one, actually. I don't think you've seen anyone do that before, right?
I've done it, but not in a run.
Oh, so silly.
This
is
hidden base
terrible.
This hidden base is not particularly good.
This is why it's scary for me to play a Tales stage in a run. You can lose a lot of time if you're not fast. Oh, I didn't even get the early bomb thing. I missed one.
The stage execution is still pretty good here. Just the routing choices are kind of questionable at this point.
Well, I missed like one or two things, and that cost like a bunch of time, so I had to take this really obscure route.
Yeah. All right, so 202 is not particularly good. I think Mustache would like to have saved ideally like about 15 seconds on that.
Maybe even a little bit more than that, actually.
Well, there's got to be like one bad stage in the run. Just make up for it with Pyramid Cave here, which is ironic since it's the hardest stage in the run.
Yeah. So, Pyramid Cave, this is the most movement-oriented stage in the game, I'd say. And thus that makes it very hard to execute well, like, first try. Alright, I'm gonna try and go for some cool stuff here. Oh, never mind, I bailed out because I didn't charge my spin dash long enough, like an idiot. Alright, so this is also the stage where you get the best upgrade in the game, called the Bounce Bracelet, which allows you to just bounce. However, there is an exploit where... So the game converts your horizontal speed into vertical speed if you bounce into a wall. Also door skip. But... yeah, you can actually use that to get to some unintended locations. Like, obviously, like, nobody's gonna reach there, the dead slot. So they just didn't put collision there. Like right after I got the bounce bracelet, I just super bounced straight over a wall. So yeah, it's very useful for getting you past pesky doors that require keys that don't actually require keys.
What we just saw as well is a gravity bounce, which we'll see at the end of the stage as well. It's similar to the loop speed trick showed in Green Forest, where you waited for a loop speed trigger with skewed gravity. But when you have the bounce bracelet, you can force a downwards fall with whatever skewed gravity that you've got. So he uses that going on the side of a loop and then bouncing once he leaves the loop, and it forces him to travel quote unquote downwards.
Yeah, it changes the direction of gravity, which might sound strange, but it actually does do that. Also, 130, that's pretty good.
Mm-hmm.
Death Chamber, the hardest Knuckles stage. Alright, good
Death
first piece.
Chamber, Death Chamber.
So, those 3 stages I just played are considered to be the hardest Knuckles, Tails... Damn it, I got a second hit! Knuckles, Tails, and Sonic stage in the entire run. They are the hardest to execute, and they're just generally quite large, and you might fail a lot on them in a run. A lot of runs die on those 3 stages. Alright, so...
Snake's Looking's a good first piece, though.
Yeah, please go ahead.
So after getting the first piece, Mustache is now taking deaths, because we talked about how the pieces in the game, the way that you'll get them is determined by, like, piece order. So piece 1 is always going to be random, and piece 2 is always going to be moderately far away from where piece 1 is. And the game remembers this if you take a death. Like, it remembers what piece you've previously gotten. And the blue room is moderately far away from where you start the red room. So if you get a piece 1 in the blue room, it's more often than not faster to take a quick death and respawn in the red room, because the game is likely to give you a piece 2 that is in the red room. And since we go by IGT in this game instead of RTA, since the timer doesn't progress while you're dying or respawning, it's basically like getting an instant teleport to the next piece.
Yeah.
It's not guaranteed to get a respawn piece like that, but from Blue Room, it's likely to get a good second piece.
Yeah, extremely likely. It's like 90% or something like that. I don't know.
It's not as high as that, but it's a probability play. It's slightly higher than 50%, I think. So you're more likely to get it than not.
I almost missed the ghost.
Oh boy. Yeah, King Boom Boo can be a little scary for beginners and people who are learning the game. This trick coming up here, the King Boom Boo 1 cycle, is one of the single biggest time saves for singular strats. This fight is meant to take 4 cycles where you catch up to him and deliver a punch, and he's meant to travel too fast to keep up with. But if your movement's good, you can get all 4 punches in 1 cycle. And that saves a lot of time, since if you miss a cycle, that costs 40 seconds each time.
Yeah, the boss is supposed to be like 3 minutes long, but 45 seconds. Alright, so this boss is just 3 super bounces, and then that's it. It's what people joke about to be like the final boss, because it requires like really tight super bounce, that thing I did earlier with the bounce bracelet to make me go higher. It requires that off these really tiny ledges.
Yeah, because we did mention before about how super bouncers work by bouncing before you hit a wall. And when we say before you hit a wall, that is very specific. The bounce does need to come out before you hit the wall. Otherwise, the horizontal to vertical property won't take. And as you can see, these platforms are very, very narrow. So there is not a lot of time to get the bounces off. It's actually about 5 frames between releasing the spin dash and hitting the wall.
Yeah, you can actually do it like a frame too early and a bunch of frames too late. You just have to get a feel for it, I guess. It's not something you can like just get by looking at it or timing it.
You basically just have to go for it as quickly as possible, because it's almost physically impossible to do it too quickly. So runners will generally just try to do it as fast as they can manage.
Yeah, probably just you can only do it too quickly by 1 frame or something like that.
That beetle dodge was janky as well.
Look. Oh no, no, no! Yes. Okay.
No, yes.
No. We got to see that later.
Oh, hello.
I don't know how I made it out of that. Oh, dude.
Someone clip that.
Oh my god, I ruined it. I ruined it, dude. What did I do? I didn't even need a hover jump and I messed
No,
up
you
anyway.
beefed it! Oh.
Dude, it was ruined before that. Oh no! Alright, after taking a death in Eternal Engine, you are automatically on a second cycle, I think? Is that right?
Yeah, I think so. Well, it's like the cycle between. It's messed up.
Okay. Basically, what level time are you going to get from here on out?
I don't know, honestly.
I'm going to guess you're going to get like 210.
I think it would be like a 2:08 is the fastest time, or something like, I don't know. Maybe, 2:06 maybe, I don't know.
We'll see. So there's a whole bunch of like tiny optimizations you can do in Eternal Engine if you're still on the first cycle pace, or if you need to make up a little bit of time to make the first cycle. But after some slow moments in a death like that, there's no real point in trying them. But what we do need to focus on is the Eternal Engine skip coming up here. So the drum in the corner here has really bad collision, and Tails' hitbox is very large and has its own janky collision. So when those two combine, that means that if you approach that wall in a certain way, that was a really nice setup.
I was waiting for that.
That is a lot more precise than it looks to just go for that, because if you don't use the door to force you out, which is what a lot of runners do, then getting that clip out is actually extremely precise. Most of the time the game will, like, you will clip as you're in the corner there, but the game will most of the time clip you back inbounds.
Yeah.
Forcing it to clip you out is very precise. And now that we're out of bounds, there's no kill planes down here, so we can just fly straight to the end of the stage.
2:07. Yeah, that's pretty much what I said. If I did it the fastest, I'd get a 2:06, something like that.
Alright, fair enough.
Still not too bad, but the death was costly.
Come on, you had set up as clip out, so if you'd done a quote-unquote normal clip out, it would have been closer to a 210, like I said.
If I fell straight to the goring there, it would have been 2:06 though.
Oh, whatever, just
Alright.
get your pieces.
This is the last Knuckles stage, and it's gonna mustache me, I swear. So, I never get good pieces on the stage. The meme is that I always get a middle or top first piece, and then I get
some floating stone above a moon.
I get a bottom second piece, and then a top third piece, which is like the worst you can get.
This is a good first piece, though.
Yeah. Don't be a bottom second piece.
Come on!
Twin stars.
That's at the bottom.
Yep.
It's fine. You're gonna get a center of the square shadow third piece. Come on!
Damn it! How I missed that? Alright, try digging while watching the moon.
That's middle. So that's pretty average, honestly.
It half mustached me. Middle, bottom, middle.
Yeah.
This one in particular, oops, I went the wrong way. This one in particular can be at like a bunch of different platforms in a bunch of different spots as well, which is it kind of confuses a lot of runners, I think.
Yeah, it has a lot of variance, but yeah. So this looks like it's going to be like a 50, which is yeah. That's on the worst end of average, I'd say. Times on Meteor Herd can go just over 1 minute if your RNG is really bad, so it wasn't like that bad, but it was still a little below average just because of the piece progression.
Yeah.
So the RNG overall in this run has not been particularly good, I'd say. You got like a respawn piece in Death Chamber, but that's about it for good RNG.
I'd say Death Chamber was my best stage for Knuckles.
Yeah.
Rouge.
So yeah, so for Rouge, it's meant to be a fairly protracted fight where Rouge is very aggressive and doesn't like to let you damage her, but if you just go for it immediately and then remain airborne by jumping around and drill diving, her AI is really passive and she just lets you repeatedly drill her like that. Lol, euphemism. So you can get like a sub 15 like that, or well, one cycle. The idea is that you're going for a sub 20 in that fight, because after 20 seconds of elapse, the floor opens up and then it's really hard to control the fight. So we basically call that the quick kill.
I think it's closer to like 19 seconds actually.
I think it's a pretty much exactly 20 seconds.
Oh, man, this stage is not going well so far.
Alright, here we go.
So this stage is also one of the hardest stages in the run because it has this one skip which I dread, and so do a lot of other people,
No,
which
you've
I'm
got this.
I'm coming up to right now. So I make sure I get that checkpoint because I'm probably gonna fail it a couple times. If I don't, I'd be surprised. So here's the setup. Now what I just did there was I landed on that ledge and did a spin dash jump and weaved in and out of 2 kill planes, basically. And now I'm just falling through the level
Come on.
and got it. Alright, cool.
You
Nice.
got it. Nice.
I got it first try.
Very nice.
So that was a 53, which is not too bad for, like, considering that start, honestly. Got it first
What
try, which is,
fucking
yes, that's the best.
PB pace now, right? Because you got that 3rd try in your PB.
No, I don't think so. Not with the terrible tail stages, dude.
But that was honestly very nice. CGSS is one of the most threatening tricks in the game, so it's very nice to get that first try.
Yeah. I'm gonna go for the fast strat on Eggman. Do you want to explain Eggman?
Oh boy, yeah. So, Eggman is just a short firefight, but it's a threatening fight because his special laser attack deals a lot of damage and will pretty much just kill you in 2 hits. So, after getting a couple of quick hits, what Mustache is going to do is just circle strafe him, because you can actually dodge the laser by jumping to the side. Oh, or just damage boost
Look,
through it, yep.
look, that one I was too far away because he went left after the first hit.
A 14's still a good fight, though.
Yeah.
So basically the point is by either damage boosting on a weaker attack or dodging the laser altogether, it just won't hit you. And Eggman doesn't turn while he's firing the laser, so you can easily hit him from the side and finish him off. So faster fast skip, right?
Should I try it?
You may as well go for it once, because you're not on PB pace.
Man, what was that?
Nice fast FR.
I'm gonna pull Dark, bro.
I like the attempt.
Yeah, that's the
I respect the try.
good
So
attempt.
that's an example of skewed gravity not having a desirable effect. I don't really know why there's a kill plane there, but all things considered, it's actually a little favourable it's there because it gets you to respawn faster.
Yeah. Alright.
Oh, since you didn't say anything, I thought you got it there.
No, no. That would be insane if I got it. I've still
so-
never gotten it in a run, dude.
So what he attempted there was literally just breaking through a kill plane. Fast FR skip, as we call it, is literally as simple as just you go for a kill plane and you hope that you go through it without actually hitting it, because
Yeah.
it's thin enough to travel through in 1 frame. But it's very inconsistent, so instead we're doing the consistent method now, which is doing another skewed gravity bounce. to
Which I
go
might fail.
around all the kill planes in the stage.
I think I
Hold
might
your
be too
timing
low
forward.
for this.
We'll see. So basically, he's maintained skewed gravity as horizontally as possible, which allows him to go around all the kill planes, and then hopefully we should have enough height to make it all the way to the end of the stage. We're going to have to see.
Nah, that's enough as long as I don't mess it up.
Okay, are you going to need to go for the backup by clipping through the center?
Yeah, I'm at the yellow thing.
Okay,
You know what I'm talking about, the...
Yeah.
I don't know what to call it, dude.
just the pillar.
Alright, cool. 122.
Yeah, that's very low, so...
It's always kind of scary at the end when you have to do that, because you can easily get pushed off to the side
Yeah,
because of the invisible wall. It doesn't want you to land on it.
Yeah.
It pushes you to the side or keeps you directly in the middle.
yeah, it's continually pushing you to the side, and the camera is rotating, so you need to turn with the camera to maintain your position.
Yeah.
So Shadow 2 is the last boss in the run, and
Time coming
time
up.
is coming up. Yeah, time is on the 5th hit on Shadow. That's when the in-game timer stops, so that's the end of the run. So Mustache is just going to be rhythmically homing attacking to try and keep him in place and manipulate homing attacks from Shadow. And there's a short gap between Shadow's homing attack ending and him landing on the ground where he's
Time.
completely vulnerable. There we go. Very good.
37:59.
Hey, that's not too
I'll
bad.
be the judge of that.
Alright,
Well, no, it's my stream. You won't be.
That was a 38 flat.
nah.
I am
You're
the
lying.
game moderator, says the king.
So on the last hit on Shadow there, I actually had to go for a bounce because I did the last homing attack a little bit too early, which made me get deflected. Which also deflects Shadow, conveniently, which means you can just bounce attack on him, which he's not programmed to dodge. So, yeah.
Try using your bounce attack.
Aside
Yes.
from the RNG being very bad there, that was honestly a very entertaining one. All of the important stuff went right first try, like you got wall run, you got CGSS, that was good.
Yeah. I'm happy with it. I mean, some stages, especially my Tails and Knuckles stages, they were kind of bad, but the rest of them, yeah.
Hidden Base in Eternal Engine was squiffy, but aside from that, everything was executed quite well. I thought.
Squiffy?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah, Squiffy.
Squiffy. I don't know why that's funny. That amuses me.
Use it then.
No. I refuse to steal your words.
Jesus.
Your words aren't worth stealing.
So yeah, that was Hero Story. Hope you guys enjoyed that. I'm also going to be doing Sonic Story later in Sonic Adventure DX, which is a worse game, but it's still fun to watch.
Yo.
Cards on the fucking table straight away.
Look, I run both games. I can say it.
Cards on the table. Doesn't even try and hide it. What a legend. Legend in his spare time. Mustache, ladies and gentlemen.
I'd say it's probably equally fun to watch and like run